Okay, welcome to episode 4 of our Final Fantasy XIV playthrough. In yesterday's episode we beat a boss and we saved the game right at the end of a chapter, and we're going to a new chapter right now, and in this chapter there will be a fairly large number of cutscenes. In fact, it's possible this episode will mostly be cutscenes because we have a few to get through right now. So we're in the seaside city of Bodum. This takes place before most of the events that we've already seen in the game, and it's basically the backstory to the characters in the game. They all somehow find themselves here, but they don't really know each other yet, so... This is actually the first time we meet Fang, although it'll be a long time before we actually end up using her as a character.
Yes. 願い事は？
明日お姉ちゃんに全部言えますようにって。怒るよね。ずっと隠してたから。
セラの分まで俺が叱られるよ。なあ、もっとでかい願いにしろよ。願いを叶える伝説の花火なんだぞ。
伝説か。使命を果たしたルシはクリスタルになって永遠を手に入れる。
その使命がわからねえのにどうしろってんだろうな。突き止めて何とかしよう。セラを化け物なんかにさせねえよ。
使命を果たしてもクリスタルだよ。
昨日プレゼント買った時ついでにな。こういうの詳しくないから気に入るといいけど。何があっても俺がついてる。永遠についてる。だからその俺と結婚してください。
はい。
よっしゃ、やった
And now we go into a pre-rendered cutscene that looks really cool. Actually, I've always liked the way this particular cutscene looks.
OK もらえますようにって。
じゃあ私の願いも叶うかな。お姉ちゃんに話せるよね、ルシになったこと。
おい、翻訳発表の方が大事だろ。ライトニング、どんな顔するだろうな。俺からは姉さんか。よし。 危なかった。
綺麗。秘密の場所だね。
来年もここで見よう。
ありがとう。
I may start using more than one save file soon in case I have to go back over areas that I've already done for whatever reason, if a recording messes up or something like that. So, anyway, back in the present day. Remember from the previous video, this we'd just beaten a boss, and this whole lake area had turned to crystal. So. This will be the only time for a while that the characters will actually be together, or these 5 characters will be together. They'll start splitting off after this, and then we'll jump between them for much of the rest of this section of the game.
あそこから落ちてきて湖ごと結晶だと？何がどうなってんだ？ファルシュの力か？俺たちは一体どうやってここに？
私が知るか。
生きてる。どうして？
セラだ。あんなに上から落ちたのに助かるなんて奇跡だろ。セラが助けてくれたんだ。
ふざけるな。いいか。セラはお前のせいで。
姉さん。なんだよ。今の。
魔法だよ。ルシの力だ。ファルシに呪われたんだ。ルシにされたんだよ。
Cool, combat. This is where we start to learn about the paradigm system. So you'll notice on the health bars of the enemies right now, there's those sort of class definitions next to their names: Com, Rab, and Rab. Those are the roles. Different roles have different effects. Com is short for Commando, and it's basically a physical DPS class. Ravager is a magical attacker, but the difference between them is that all to do with the way the combo meter works. In a sense that Ravagers can build the combo meter very fast, but they don't maintain it. I'll talk more about it once we get through this cutscene.
らしいな。お前は？
ほら。
全員ルシか。なんで僕は関係ないのに。あんたらがファルシなんかに手を出すから。僕を巻き込むなよ。あんたのせいで僕のあんたもセラも迷惑なんだよ。
おい。
No sympathy from Lightning.
悪い。
大丈夫だからね。渡って行こう。
Okay, so as I was saying about the roll system, Ravagers build combo very quickly, and they're key to getting to the stagger point. Commandos, however, they don't build combo very quickly, but and I'm just going to go back this way because I'm trying to remember if there was a chest or anything behind here. Commandos don't build combo, but, and there wasn't a chest, so that was a complete waste of time. They maintain the combo meter. It'll make sense once we get to combat, and I can easily show this off. But basically, for optimal combo meter usage, you want a combination of at least one Ravager and one one Commando in the party. So, more cutscenes. I think there'll be a lot of them in this particular section of the game, so...
もう見たと思う。
見た？
ルシの使命っつうのはああしろこうしろって言葉ではっきり説明されるわけじゃねえんだ。ぼんやり見えるだけなんだとよ。まあ伝説だがな。伝説だ。
何か覚えてるか？はっきりしないんですけど、大きな、すごく大きな。
まさかお前らも見たのか。
ラグナロク。
全員同じものを見て同じ声を聞いた。
あれが使命。でもあんなのだけじゃ何すればいいのか。
そういうものなんだって。ファルシが見せるのはああいうものだけで、実際に何をやるかはルシが見つける。
俺たちパルスのルシは国運の敵だとなれば、使命は国運を
守るんだ。この世界を守るのが俺たちの使命だ。
うんうん。どうしてかな。
セラが言ったろ。一緒にやろう。力を合わせて戦うんだ。セラを探すぞ。きっとこの近くだ。
私も探すよ。待って。
たく落ち着きのねえ野郎だ。
Bemused Lightning is bemused. Okay, so you can see the battle team, and I will just pop up the... yes, this is where we learn about the Crystarium as well, so we will get to see the menu very shortly. So, I'll skip that tutorial though. Okay, so I'll need to pop up the menu. From here on out, we're going to probably see this a fair bit, but I'll just quickly go through a couple of things. You can see the party there. It'll be a long time before we can actually change our party. The game will basically force us to use different characters as we go through this section of the game. It won't be until we get up to about chapter 11 that we'll be able to change the party. I apologise if there's noise. I have sweat in my eyes. It's really, really hot where I'm recording today, so yeah, I am sweating a little bit, primarily because I can't really have the fan on when I'm recording these things. I have an air conditioner on the background, which is making things a bit nicer, but I can't have the fan. Anyway, enough of that. These are paradigms, and paradigms are basically setups. You can see across the line there, we have Relentless Assault, and that puts Lightning in a Commando role, Snow in a Ravager role, and Vanille in a Ravager role. That's designed basically for very quick combo meter building. 2 Ravagers will build a combo meter very, very fast, and you get to stagger point very, very quickly. But then we have Solidarity, which switches Lightning over... Well, keeps Lightning as a Commando, but switches Snow over to the Sentinel role, and Vanille to the Medic role. I'm the medic role should be fairly self-explanatory. It's basically a healing role. She will attempt to heal the other two characters as best she can while she's in the medic role. The Sentinel role functions as a sort of MMO-style tank. It has abilities that can taunt enemies, as well as abilities that help it take lots of damage very quickly, sort of damage absorbs and damage builds and stuff like that. So those are what we have in there, and we can create our own roles as well using the other role. We can create our own paradigms as well using the other roles that each member has, but we don't need to do that at the moment. What we can do though, we can go into the Crystarium, and this is something we're going to be seeing a lot of now because of the way this works. This is how characters level up in the game. Now, the Crystarium's already been started for us. These are basically the basic stats that I've been using with these characters since the game started. We haven't had access to this. This is how the characters are set up at the start of the game. So what you get in here is these nodes that increase health. Sorry, that's the starting node. Nodes that increase health, strength, magic. They're the only two stats characters have, by the way, is strength and magic. And you'll see them listed over on the portrait on the right side of the screen there. And then attack, which is a basic ability. That's what allows her to attack as a commando. Blitz, which is an area of effect ability that she uses when enemies are close together. Ruin, which is a ranged attack that does, I think it does about the same damage as the regular attack, it just happens to be ranged. Yeah, deal non-elemental magic damage to the target. So from there we have a strength node, which we can go to, and once we get to the strength node, we can either go up here to get life siphon, which we will do, or we can go around here to get HP 15 and power chain. Now, the thing with this game is that while this provides a sort of illusion of choice, and you can see there I've run out of Crystarium points, you build along these lines using Crystarium points, and it stops, when you run out of points, it stops along the line there. So that's what these lines represent, essentially, is a point value, Crystarium point value, that we'll use to build the characters up. Now, as I was saying, and I'll go back and we'll do Snow, and we'll build him up. Now, Snow's functioning primarily as a Ravager at the moment, so I'm going to level him as a Ravager. Now, you'll notice that he has access to 3 roles, Commando, Ravager, and Sentinel. Now, you might think, oh yeah, I want to level him as this particular role and stuff like that, but the reality is, and you can see he actually doesn't have that much left in his Ravager ability. We've actually filled out his Ravager ability right now. So what I will now do is I will actually use his Sentinel role, which is this role here. This is the tanking role I was talking about before. And again, he's got some sort of pre-baked abilities that we've had access to, even though he hasn't done any Sentinel stuff until now. And we can get Fringewood, but again, this is actually quite limited. Later on, he'll be able to... later on, he'll be able to unlock more of those. In fact, all the characters will unlock more of these trees. I'm going to build Vanille up as a Ravager. She's actually strongest as a medic, but we don't need her as a medic quite yet. And I will start doing that later. Now, the thing to note with these nodes is that they increase the character's stats no matter what role the character's in. So whether you're building through the Ravager tree or the medic tree here, you can see there's a HP plus 30 there. That HP plus 30 applies to the character. So it pays to level up each role as much as you can to get all those stats nodes, because that's the best way to do everything. And because the game is designed around, because the game is very much designed around building, because the game's designed very much around switching from role to role in combat using the paradigm system, you'll actually do want to keep each character built up as much as possible. For that. So specializing a character in a single role isn't a great idea. What you really want to do is have the role you want to primarily use that character in, and then you build up the other roles behind that. Usually what you can do, because of the way progression works in this game, I'm going to create a new save data, just so I've got backup save data from here on out. Because of the way progression works in this game, you have the option... I'm going to go back that way because there's a bunch of chests in here on these little side paths, and I'm going to try and get as many of them as they can, because they give me some early game items that I otherwise wouldn't get. So there'll be a bit of additional combat in here. Okay, so this is a preemptive strike, and as I mentioned, these build the combo meter up to maximum, but we're not going to be able to stagger all these enemies unless we get... Oh, we did. Okay, so... that's made this fight much easier. Anyway, yeah, so talking about the Crystarium, the game very much encourages you to switch roles in combat using the paradigm system, and so, as I was saying, you want to ensure that you build up all of the roles a character has access to as you go through. You may want to focus on one, whichever one you'll be using that character in sort of their default role for them that you want to use. But after that, you want to do everything. Okay, so we just got an item for Vanille. We'll equip that on her. So that's an upgrade for that binding rod. It actually cuts her strength, but increases her magic. So this is the other thing worth talking about. Characters have two stats, strength and magic. Strength is physical damage and physical attacks. Magic is magical damage. Now, magic has the most effect. I'm going to save again because I'm OCD like that, but I'll just overwrite that last save I made. Ravagers do magical attacks. And they're... this game doesn't really have, you know, like the Final Fantasy white mage, blue mage, black mage type of setup. The spell names are similar though. You'll notice that they do cast like Blizzard, and they cast Fire and Fira and Faraga and all those kind of spells. So the spell names are the same, but Ravagers use the magic-based attacks to increase combat meter. So you can see Lightning using the Ruin attack there as a ranged attack on that flying enemy. The other thing you'll probably notice is that Lightning has technique points, and what I should be doing right now that I'm not, and I will do it on this character once we finish this combat round, is I'll use technique. This is the Libra technique, and that will give us information. Now, I can't show you the information screen for that character because the battle just ended, but I think we got it. Libra is really important to use. It looks like we didn't get that, actually. We might have. Libra is really important to use because of the fact that it reveals the important enemy information that we need to know. And that information is used by the auto battle command, and it's also used by your AI companions in combat. So the main importance of it, as we go into another cutscene, the main importance of the Libra command is to discover what enemies have resistances to in terms of elemental damage and in terms of weaknesses that they would have to elemental damage as well. So I'll let this cutscene go on and we'll get back to talking about that.
じゃあ使命も一緒に決まってる。俺たちは世界を守るルシでラグナロクと戦うんだ。筋が通るだろう。
通ってねえよ。グダグダじゃねえか。パルスのファルシは国運の敵で、俺たちルシはその手先だ。多分使命は守るの逆さ。
じゃあセラも敵だったのか。俺は認めねえぞ。この力で国運を守ろう。一緒に戦って使命を果たそう。
何が使命だ。ファルシがセラを奪ったのにその命令に従うのか。お前はファルシの道具か。
両手を頭の後ろで組め。マージの生き残りだな。
さあな。
貴様。
素人が。
Have I mentioned how much I like Lightning as a character yet? Okay. This is another tutorial about command execution. This is to do with, partial commands. Basically, you don't have to wait for the ATB button to fill to execute a command. Now, you'll notice that the first thing I've done here is I've cast Libra on these Psychon Wardens. And I am now going to Paradigm Shift to Solidarity to get some healing into the group. What this will do is it will cause Neil to start throwing healing spells around. I think it's Cure is the name of the spell, as is the Final Fantasy tradition. You'll notice Snow's kind of standing there. What he's actually doing is taunting these enemies to attack him. So that was how that battle worked out. Now I only got 4 stars in, probably because I switched to Medic. I may not have actually needed to do that. The other thing I didn't get to do then was show you the information screen for the enemies, which I was going to. But trust me that casting the Libra command on the enemies is really important. So,
戦争なんて何百年もねえだろう。経験ゼロの連中が高い武器ぶん回してるだけさ。
特務機関の人間より普通の軍人さんの方が地味な任務で鍛えてらっしゃる。
俺たちルシの敵じゃねえわけ。
図に乗るな。下っ端は能なしでもサイコムの精鋭は化け物だ。そいつらが出てくれば終わりだ。
だったら逃げようよ。
おい、父ちゃんどうしたもんやらだ。
okay, so just check for any kind of chests around here. I think I mentioned in the previous video, I'm just going to keep calling these things chests, because that's fundamentally what they are. So, I think there's one up there, but I'll go up here anyway. Okay. So, I will probably cast Libra a lot at the start of battles. It'll cost me a little bit of time in terms of the combat round, but it's really important to get that down because it'll massively help. Particularly for encountering those enemies later on. You only need to do it once per enemy type for the whole game. So, anyway, I think I did cast Libra, so this gives me an excuse to show the combat screen. I haven't cast it on those flying enemies yet, so I'll do that in this fight. So, okay, so this is the information screen, and you can see on the left side of the screen it has chain resistance, stagger point, common drop, and rare drop. Those are only found out after you kill the enemy in battle. The chain resistance is how quickly you can build up the combo chain, and the stagger point is of course the point where you get to stagger the enemy. On the right side of the screen you got status immunities, those will become important later on, and vulnerabilities, basically the elemental vulnerabilities. You can see this is weak to most types of vulnerabilities and has normal resistance to the bottom 3 there. Some enemies will have immune or strong as well, and then we can go through to each enemy. They'll all be the same, and we've actually Libra'd this enemy as well, so you can see that this one has normal vulnerabilities as well, so it's not that interesting, and its stagger point is slightly lower. So I don't have to cast Libra at all in this fight because we've got all the information we need about all these enemies. So on the under Lightning's health bar there, you can see a yellow meter that says TP. We're gonna no, we're not. We're just gonna kill this guy. So that yellow bar that has TP4 next to it, that's her technique points. Libra is a technique, and each time you use Libra, it just filled back up to 5 there. Each time you use Libra, it uses up one of those TP segments on the bar. So those are refilled based on your battle performance. That's another thing that the battle score ends up affecting, is how much TP you get, or how much progress you get to filling a TP. Okay, so what we picked up then was a crafting material. There's a crafting and upgrading system in the game. Well, it's not really a crafting system, you can't craft items, but you can upgrade them, and that was the material you need to upgrade. I'm going to have to do a bit more research on item upgrading, so you'll probably see me hold on to as many items as I can for the moment. I'm about to take on some more enemy types, new types of enemies. I'm probably going to finish this video at the next save point once we get up to it. Libra. Yep, let's get Libra on these guys because I don't have the information I need for them. I won't show you the battle screen for most enemies. We're going to paradigm shift to Solidarity because Lightning will otherwise die. Oh god, she died. Oh wow. Okay, well, that happened. So, we'll get back to this battle. Yeah, killed by an easy fight. Yeah. So. Okay, let's do that again. Fortunately, I think, as I mentioned previously, the way checkpointing works in this game is usually if you fail a battle, you don't start too far back from it. The problem is that we have fairly low health, and I probably don't need to switch to Solidarity, but I'm just going to take safety sort of... yeah, you can see what happened there. Lightning basically got focused by all of them, and that's what caused that to happen. I'll switch back to Relentless Assault, and we'll try and clear these as quickly as possible now. I haven't cast Libra on these yet, so I'll do that again. I have to recast it. I think I have to recast it if I die in battle. But yeah. Snow's taking a lot of damage, so Solidarity on him. Doesn't actually matter if Snow dies. It's only if Lightning dies, or the party leader dies, that you will lose the fight. So your other members can of course be revived by Phoenix down when you get one of those. I'm going to do something just after this battle. I'll try and take this out fairly quickly now again. But you can see how I'm using the Paradigm Shift system just to switch it up, get the heals happening. I could of course always use my potion items, but I have a medic in the party and the medic heals essentially for free. Based of course on her ATB level. So Lightning's taking a heap of damage. These guys hit really hard. So when I switch to Solidarity, I basically only have one character dealing damage. Snow's abilities can deal damage, but mostly his counterattacks when he gets hit. So what I might do is actually make a new paradigm that has keeps Snow as a Ravager and switches Vanille out to Medic, but otherwise basically does the same thing. So we'll do that now. We've got to do some other stuff in the menu screen right now, which I will do. Okay, so let's create a new paradigm. So we'll go here, let's create a new paradigm. So we want Snow to be a Commando, we want him to be a Ravager, and we want Vanille to be a Medic. So that's created a diversity. The names are generated based on whatever roles you set. Basically every combination has a preset name that it will use. So diversity gives me Commando, Ravager and Medic, and I prefer that because I prefer Snow to keep dealing damage while we're in the healing phase. It does mean that he won't be able to protect other characters taking damage if their health gets low, but hopefully Vanille will be able to heal quickly enough that that won't be a problem. So we're going to head back into the Crystarium now and just do some additional leveling. See if we can't get that Life Siphon. Yep, we got the Life Siphon. You earn Crystarium points after every battle. Those are that's what that CP value you can see under the HP value there is. Now, I believe we maxed out his... Oh, we didn't max out his Commando, so we'll go get HP 70 and Strength 18, and then we will... Oh, hang on, we're not done with him. Back out of that, go to his Ravager, which we did max out. Go to his Sentinel, which we have not quite maxed out. So, that means we've actually maxed out all of his abilities for the moment. And what that means is that we just keep building up Crystarium points for him until we progress a bit further and it unlocks more levels of the Crystarium. So you might also notice that there's a level next to the role name for everyone. You'll see Ravager level 1 there. Those aren't related to the Crystarium levels. There are nodes in the Crystarium that are called role levels, and they will level up the role. That increases certain combat aspects that I'm currently not quite remembering. I'm going to level his medic stuff up first, because I like him as a medic. This is what I mean about prioritizing. Hope works well as a medic, and so leveling his medic stuff up first is really good for him. So, I think that was everything I needed to do in there. We've got another chest up around here, so I'll head up around here and clear this group out, and we'll get the chest. Shouldn't take too long. And I think we will, finish this video at the next save point. I think I already said that. Yeah. We shouldn't need to cast Libra. So you can always check if you cast Libra by whether or not that screen has the information you need on it. These frogs really hit hard. So what I'll do is I'll use my new diversity paradigm, and that'll put Vanille as a healer, but it will keep everyone else as a Commando and Ravager. And it'll just let me do... It's basically a safety play. It'll let me keep their health up with these guys who hit pretty hard. But I don't really need to tank them. Like, for me the Sentinel role is best used on a lot of the boss fights, where it holds the boss's attention. Most of the Sentinel attacks actually work on bosses as well, so Bosses and tougher enemies are better for sentinels, but they can be good if you need a real healing phase. So, but this is working out pretty well, and this is how we're going to keep doing it at the moment. So, I'm not sure I'll 5-star this battle with this setup. Can probably go back to Relentless Assault now just to quickly kill this last one. So there we go. So that was the benefit of creating that diversity roll. Yeah, we only 4-starred that battle. So, and you see underneath the star rating there, the Christogen points, which I've been calling Crystarium points all this time. But yeah, because you use them in the Crystarium, but they are called Christogen points. So I know some of you watching may have just been screaming at me to use the right name, and now I am, because I am smart. Okay, so we're going to go around here. Hopefully there'll be a save point fairly soon. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to finish this video at this save point, and we will pick it up from here, and we'll still be in this sort of Wild Blue Yonder area later. So what I said I was going to do was, yeah, use more than one save file. So I might just make a new save data for this. We'll save the game, and we will rejoin our adventurers tomorrow.